Nice. Hello and welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Legacy Death and Taxes. No. Back today with Legacy 5-Color Humans. So 5-Color Humans is a deck that's been popularized in Legacy by a guy called Eddie Zamora. You can find him on Twitter, or you can find him in most likely some of the better finished Legacy Human finishes on MTGO. So the deck is very aggressive, but also has a really nice disruption package. So we do have cards like Kitesail Freebooter, which can take a sort of duress our opponent. We have Meddling Mage, which can stop our opponent from casting spells, with Prelate pretty much doing the same thing. Thalia as well, slowing down our opponent while we Wasteland them, hopefully. Mother of Runes is there, of course, to protect our creatures, as well as a one of Charming Prince. You can also use Sanctum Prelate to protect your creatures, so if you're looking to name 6 against Miracles on Terminus, if you want to name 1 against something like Rogue Delver, there's definitely a lot of sort of niche uses for the deck, so it should be really fun to play. I've been playing it in paper, and I've been really enjoying it. The mana base is actually surprisingly really nice, so having access to pretty much the rainbow lands in Unclaimed Territory and Ancient Ziggurat, and then also Cavern of Souls, is just really rewarding you for playing a deck that's tribal. And I have cut the 4th Ancient Ziggurat for a 4th Horizon Canopy, just because Canopy is a little bit better in the late game. Against the decks that are aggressive, the life does add up, but I think there's also a argument that we're quite aggressive as well, and we could actually beat them down before they beat us down. The other big reason is that Ancient Ziggurat cannot cast the turn 1 Vials, so if I'm going to have a 1-lander, I'd much rather it be Horizon Canopy than Ancient Ziggurat. In regards to the Imperial Recruiter targets, we have a Charming Prince, an Orzhov Pontiff, a Deputy of Detention, Sanctum Prelate, and Palace Jailer. Charming Prince, really nice at just being able to reset something like a Thalia's Lieutenant or a Meddling Mage. Orzhov Pontiff, great at wiping the board, especially against decks with Trina Nemesis or Young Pyromancer. Deputy of Detention, just kind of our out to anything, from Ren to Oko to empty the Warren's tokens. Deputy is really nice as just having a target in the main deck. Prelate mainly against combo, sometimes against mid-range. Something like against lands, naming 2 is pretty good as it turns off both Punishing Fire and Life from the Loam. And then Palace Jailer, which I think is just a house, and I think right now the Monarch is just so powerful in Legacy, so having the Palace Jailer in the main deck is really nice as well. Something that we can reset with Charming Prince as well, which is nice. The sideboard, so for Graveyard Hate we have 2 Faerie Macabre and 2 Surgical Extraction. You can definitely play Grafdigger's Cage. I'm just a massive fan of the sort of freeness, or the free spells in Faerie Macabre and Surgical that often don't need to play around Chancellor. Definitely Faerie Macabre, sometimes Surgical. For combo hate, we have Containment Priest, again for Reanimator. Also for Elves, which has been ticking up. Meddling Mage just as an extra one of Kambal, which is pretty nice because it's also a threat that we can keep protected with Karakas. And then another Prelate. Phyrexian Revoker is a card I haven't played with before in Humans. I've definitely played a lot of it in Death and Taxes, but I think Revoke is just really nice. It's kind of a deputy in a way. There's a lot of answers for it right now, especially in Planeswalkers. So being able to have that as a Imperial Recruiter target is really nice. And then just Manic Vandal. There's a lot of really annoying artifacts in Legacy. So having the Manic Vandal is really nice. You could play a Knight of Autumn if you wanted to. I've just been really enjoying Manic. I haven't really needed the other half, but it's always nice, especially if your opponent gets you off, say, Aether Vial, and then slam something like a Back to Basics. That can be pretty brutal. So that's probably something to think about as well. And then for the creature matchups, we have 2 Reflector Mage, 1 Palace Jailer, and 1 Pontiff in the sideboard. So the Reflector Mage is really nice at just the tempo kind of plan, and then also getting rid of something like a Merit Lage, which is pretty good. So that is it. A huge thank you to Card Hoarder, who sponsors this channel and allows me to obtain the cards that I do for these streams. And then also to MTG Mate, who is an Australian online store. They sell MTG singles at great prices, and they also have a really nice buy list with extra for store credit. They'll be at Magic Fest Brisbane, so definitely check them out there as well if you haven't heard of them before. Let's get straight into a league and see how this goes, because I'm really Really excited to play this deck. It's a very fair deck, and I think it really rewards just kind of knowing your opponent's deck and what you should be aiming with Meddling Mage, or what creature you should be playing first. Should be going with a turn 2 Thalia or a turn 2 Kitesail. If you're going for a Kitesail, what card are you taking? Are you trying to slow them down? Are you trying to take a win condition? Definitely a lot to it. I saw, I think Brian Koval also took Legacy Humans to Eternal Weekend yesterday or today to a 6-2 finish, I believe. I could be wrong there. He played a sweet list as well. Very very streamlined, which I like. 5-3 today. Okay. I would love to play first. And it sounds a little bit mediocre, but I don't mind it because of the double vial. Having the Palace Jailer as well means that with the Noble Hierarchs we can actually get a turn 3 Palace Jailer, which is really nice, so I'm happy to keep this. It's definitely quite mana heavy, with Palace Jailer really being our only action, but having a turn 1 Vial and having a backup one just in case our opponent has a Force of Will is pretty great. I'll lead on the Karakas as well, because if we get comboed out early, we can at least act like we're Death and Taxes, just playing Karakas and Aether Vial, but I think Unclaimed Territory kind of gives away that we're not on straight Death and Taxes. Herborg. Okay, so this could be some sort of depth deck, which I assume Palace Jail is just going here, unfortunately, but at least next turn we can pretty much empty our hand, which is kind of nice. So definitely take up Vial. Champion's nice. Champion allows us to go Champion, Human. Just gonna play a Hierarch here. I could play the second Vial, but I kind of like the feel of the first Vial, of just getting this Champion a little bit bigger. And then just passing turn here. I don't think there's any reason to activate the Vial now. I might as well just do it in my opponent's end step. Take us up to 2. Ziggurat. I think we definitely attack first. And then I might just keep this Ancient Ziggurat in our hand. If our opponent is on most likely 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Duress, I'd rather act like I have something in hand than just play a land and give them full information that I obviously have nothing. So they know about the second Vial. Okay, so that's the combo, and they could most likely have something like Not of This World, which does stop the Karakas. So looking at our deck list, I think we want to put it to 3. We do have Tomik, which can block block the 20/20 for days, because it can be Karakas back to our hand. But I think we keep it at 2 because the Kitesail Freebooters are also flyers. So this one's going to go up, and this one's going to stay. Recruiter's pretty nice. So let's play Recruiter first. We'll trigger this first. So Tomik does stop the combo, because it means Thespian Stage can't target their lands. So we'll see if they actually activate first or not. They kind of have to. Yeah. So I guess we might as well see if this works right now. They have none of this world, okay. So we'll play Tomik. So to be fair there, I probably didn't need to use the Karakas because the Karakas can actually save my Tomik. So that was probably a pretty big misplay because I wanted to keep up the Karakas for my Tomik as a defensive move rather than just forcing them to have Not of This World because I don't think that really matters. So now we really just have to pass. Dress is fine. Definitely have to block. Which is pretty rough, because we had the line there, but we just didn't go for it. Oh, there's a small echo. Ah, there we go. Sorry, it's because my Twitch has... we're going to tick both these up. Ah, yeah, Twitch was on, sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Alright. Wasteland just isn't great enough. So that is, unfortunately, the game. Pretty tough. We had the line, but we just didn't see it. So what do we like? I definitely like Palace Jailer. I don't mind Deputy. I don't mind Reflector Mage. I don't mind taking out Thalias. So that's a pretty quick switch. I think everything else has its place. Prelate's interesting. Revoker most likely named something like Vampire Hexmage, but I'm not sure if they actually play it. Yeah, wow. Nightjay, that was just a massive punt. That's pretty classic. That's Yep. Okay. Yeah, we definitely should have used Karakas there. That's literally just a brain fart. Pretty tough. Pretty tough. I don't know why I don't use Karakas there. Let's go for Meddling Mage over Prelate. Yeah, Prelate. I think Prelate for one is actually pretty good because we don't run Swords to Plowshares. But yeah, definitely the play there is to bounce with Karakas, attack, hopefully if they don't have another Not of This World, and go from there. But that's rough. I guess we'll just have to win these next two games and see how we go. That's yeah, that's pretty stupid. I would love to play first. And this hand's fine. The Turn 1 Vial is nice. The Unclaimed Territory allows us to also cast creatures, which is great. So I think these Meddling Mages are most likely going after crop rotation. Not of This World is most likely a 1 or 2 of, so I'm not sure if it's worth naming over something else. Name human. I really hope we get this match now because that's not great. It's pretty poor performance. Exactly, Pulse. I like that you chose the name Pulse Marasa because that's probably one of my favorite blue green cards. ever printed. Thoughtseize is interesting. These two kind of answer the Maritlage, but Hierarch really is what I'm kind of hoping to keep because my mana is quite short right now, and I don't have another 1 mana play to put through Aether Vial. Looks like my opponent did go down to 6 though, so... I can't believe I didn't crack Aether Vial. That's, sorry, the Lage. Alright, we'll definitely tick this up to 1. Ancient Ziggurat. Okay, so that's a nice draw. So, I think Meddling Mage here is fine. And I'm gonna go with Crop Rotation. I think just because Crop Rotation is a big sort of card that I can't really play around. Decay on the Vial will definitely respond. Which I don't think is the worst play for us. I think even if we draw a land, I'm pretty happy just to slam Jailer and pass. Cavern. I really just want to start drawing cards here. Especially seeing that down to 2 cards. Is that being too aggressive? They definitely have multiple Thoughtseize left in the deck. And I think it's more a feel bad to play the Meddling Mage here and then not play the flashbacks to Friday Night Legacy. So I like playing the Jailer here. Although we're not getting the creature, we are getting an extra card. So I am just going to slam it. And then attack for 3. It's also using my mana quite efficiently, so if we do draw it into a 2-drop, we can cast both Meddling Mage and another creature. Pontiff. Another stage. Not that bad for us, especially since the Meddling Mage is holding down Crop Rotation off something like a Aethersworn Canonist. Sorry, off a... another creature. Let's have a quick look. Crop Rotation, Silver... Okay, so they usually play 4 Not of This World. That's pretty rough. Abrupt Decay is another pretty good name, I guess. I don't mind Decay. Although Not of This World is probably more... I think because a lot of our draws make us have to. Von Snickety, thank you for the sub. 9 months is very cool. I think Not of This World is what I'm really afraid of if I do find some sort of interaction. Attack for 4. He can't even cast Decay now unless he has Elvish Spirit Guide in hand. But I think even then I'm very happy with that. I'll play a land this turn just in case we draw Wasteland. Name Human again. Lieutenant's actually great. Is Lieutenant lethal? Scrying's pretty good. Oh, but they can't cast it this turn. A land would actually be nice. I think it is just lethal. Yeah, it is just lethal, surely. So let's go... Is there a way that I want to sequence this? I don't think so. I think we can just go Orzhov Pontiff, everything gets +1/+1, and then Thalia's Lieutenant on top. I can win this turn, actually. I'm just wanting to know if I want to put Orzhov Pontiff down or Thalia down first. And I think we just want to put down Orzhov Pontiff first. Creatures we control get +1/+1 till end of turn. Lieutenant. Whew. Always scary. We get there. Alright. So we get back up a game, which is nice. Do we want to sideboard differently? I don't think we do. The Prelates are actually pretty nice, because we can name 1 and 2, and it doesn't affect us outside of Aether Vial. So I think not bringing in Prelate there was actually a pretty big mistake. What do I want to take out? Maybe it's something like a Champion. I'm not really on a straight beatdown strategy from the get-go, so I'm pretty happy with that. The one thing I like about Revoker is that it forces our opponent to use a Hex Mage if it's on the field. So we could do something like, if we have Karakas in hand, we can vial this in, and then if they use it, we can use the Karakas straight away. But that shouldn't matter anyway, because the Karakas can be used in end step, so... I think we'll just submit this and see how it goes. I think this hand's okay, even though it doesn't have a turn 1 Vial. We have 2 sub-answers to Dark Depths. The Meddling Mage is really nice. And then the Thalia's Lieutenant saves a lot of our stuff, even though it doesn't matter because they're all X2s from something like Plague Engineer. So I'm going to keep this. Looks like our opponent has also kept a 7. Urborg, no Thoughtseize. That's pretty nice for us. We don't have a turn 1 play yet, but... Name human and pass. Nothing from our opponent, okay. Not even a Sylvan Scrying, interesting. Looks like they're kind of holding up decay. I think I just want to go Freebooter here. Get some knowledge. Okay. Force of Vigor, interesting. Force of Vigor only hitting the abrupt... what's it called? We know what it's called. It's Thespian Stage. Ooh, Hex Mage. Okay. Well, we know these 3 cards in hand, which is nice. We can actually kill it with Pontiff if we want. But we need to draw a land. I actually really like just Tomik here. Turns off Ghost Quarter as well, which is nice, because that's a Wasteland against us. So if they don't draw Dark Depths here, we're in pretty good shape. Thoughtseize is fine because we have both Reflector Mages, but I assume they might actually take the Orzhov Pontiff because it kills the Hex Mage, which is their kind of one out here. Take it. Okay, interesting. Aether Vial, rough. I guess we care about Sylvan Scrying, so I'm going to cast Meddling Mage here. And then we know about these two cards, so I'm happy to attack with Tomik here. Another Hex Mage is fine. This Pontiff is going to be fantastic if it resolves. Kitesail, come on! Ah, rough. I guess we take the... Do we care about the Force of Vigor? I think I'll just go for Vial here and pass. I can attack them for 2, but this Tomik is holding back both Hex Mages here, which is nice. Wow, and they're just going to concede. That's a really early concession. I mean, they have the out of Crop Rotation and also Dark Depths, because Tomik doesn't stop... Oh, wow, it actually stops Hex Mage as well. My apologies. My apologies. Interesting. So Tomik's just brutal. Well, luckily we did punt that first game, but we got there in the second, so pretty happy to get that win. So thank you, chat, for pointing that out. But yeah, Von Snickety, hope you're well. Hope you're... Where are you based at the moment? If you're still here. Terrible play in that first game. Alright, let's go straight into our second game. Wings of NC. So the advantage of this hand is that we're going to be able to cast anything we draw into. The disadvantage is that it doesn't really do anything. It does have the Vial, which is nice, and it has the early aggression, or it has the early mana of Noble Hierarch. So the one reason that I might keep this hand is that if we're playing against something like Mono Red Prison, the Vial starts to really nice, especially with the double Hierarch, so we can cast pretty much anything in our deck, outside of maybe Kitesail Freebooter, except we have Vial for that. So we do have the Canopy, which we can cash in later on, so I'm actually going to keep this. I don't think I'd keep this in a competitive tournament, but I want to see how these sort of hands work out. And this looks like it might be some sort of blue-white Stoneblade or Miracles list. Oh, okay, maybe not. The Thoughtseize again, rough. Most likely just taking the Vial here. But the Prismatic Vista is interesting. Pretty happy for Cavern. Just in case we're playing against some sort of like weird blue-black control deck. Fatal Push is fine. The Prismatic Vista's kind of thrown me off. Vial's pretty nice. Let's go Vial first. And then Noble Hierarch. Prismatic Vista, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Polluted Delta, and maybe a Brainstorm here? Entomb, okay. Interesting, okay. This could be some sort of blue-black Reanimator? So what do we name with Meddling Mage? I mean, there's Reanimate, there's Animate Dead. I definitely play the Canopy here, so next turn I can definitely throw it away. I think I'm pretty happy to go... Thalia first. And then just Meddling Mage naming Reanimate. Is Reanimate what I'm really scared of? If they reanimate Grizzlebrand, they're losing 8 life and going to 8. So they can maybe draw once. I think it's Animate Dead that I'm probably more scared of. Or maybe Exhume. Ugh. There's just so many. Let me quickly see. So here's a list. Careful Study, Entomb, Reanimate, Exhume. So I think it's Exhume that I'm more scared of. Fetch is always scary. Interesting. It's like a bug deck. This could even be like the bug, like Tangy, welcome to the stream. This could be like the bug reanimator deck, which is always pretty rough to see. Leovold? I have no idea what they're going to cast. You're going to fetch first. Okay. Hey, X-Milos. We're currently 1-0. We got up Oko. Rough. We got up against... Turbodeps, which is pretty good because we definitely we threw away game 1. We Karakas our opponent's Maritage and they had a Knot of this World, and then we untapped and conceded instead of just trying to Karakas again, because there's definitely no reason not to. We do have some outs to this Oko right now, which is nice, in Thalia's Lieutenant. Another Vial. Let's go with... sack this. Unclaimed Territory. So we'll definitely attack both of these at Oko. And there's no reason not to cast this second Aether Vial. Oh, it's only creature spells. There we go. I think the play here for Oko is to make this a 3-3. Because that means we can't really kill Oko this turn unless we draw into something pretty niche. Like Plague Engineer would be pretty brutal. Tombstalker. Okay. Interesting. So it's a graveyard-based deck that also uses Tombstalker? Let's keep one at 2 and the other one at 1. So this one's not going up, and this one is. Thalia. No great attacks here, sadly. We can play this land. I guess we name Advisor because of Deputy of Detention. And sadly just pass here. This Tombstalker is going to be able to just defend this Oko so well until we draw into something a little bit bigger. It's funny that they're making Thalia a creature here, because we can just put in... Oh, can we? I don't think we can because it's still a legendary creature. I actually don't mind the 3/3, because if we draw into another exalted creature, we can attack for 5 at Oko. Alright, we can tick both of these up. Huge draw. Huge draw. So let's go Cavern. Take this Tombstalker. They're going to fetch, but they only have 1 card in hand. And we've used Cavern for this. Don't force it. You know you can't force it here, right? What is this? Stroke of Genius. Ah, so this is the World Gorger Dragon deck. Interesting. Definitely attack Oko. For 4 as well, which is really relevant because the food token doesn't kill it, and Oko just actually stops it. That's fine. So I wonder here if Thalia is better than the 3/3. And I think it is. Humans? Ramo, you're 100% correct. I think because they made the Thalia an elk, they care about its ability. So I think here I'm just going to vial in this Thalia because its ability actually matters. I guess they can just tick up anyway on the Thalia, but it stops them from making a food. So I'm pretty happy just to put in this Thalia and hopefully disrupt them a little bit more. We'll keep this one. And then we'll draw a card. Hopefully a 3-drop. Okay, another Thalia. Another elk. I think Jailer's probably the strongest in Vial decks, just because you can make so much more. Ponder for 2. Interesting. So they're not targeting the Thalia first and then pondering. They're wanting to maybe make a food token this turn. Entomb. Okay. World Gorger? Ugh. It's never great. Now ponder again. I wonder if the play is to swing at them so that they have to use their mana for food to gain life to maybe turn on Reanimate. So although Meddling Mage is on Exhume, we can kind of also turn off Reanimate if we don't allow them to have enough mana around. So these vials are not going up. Another land's not great. We also have the ability here just to kill Oko, which is kind of nice. Our opponent does only have 2 cards in hand though. But even with Reanimate, they have 2 mana for Reanimate and then 2 mana each for 2 food tokens, which is 6 life. So they'll go back to 12 and then lose 6, so they go to 6 with World Gorger. Sadly, I think I just want to get rid of the Oko. I mean, this is probably my one chance, especially seeing I have 6 on board and the Oko's at 6. And once this food becomes a 3/3, if they don't have the World Gorger Dragon combo, my attacks become a lot less appealing. Play a land. Name human. hopefully draw into... Like, Charming Prince would be sweet, but it's a little bit too late. Champion, okay. Strix isn't too bad. Snapcaster, okay. Ponder, sure. We also need an answer for this Baleful Strix, or else they're going to steal the Monarch. We don't have... I guess Kitesail Freebooter is kind of nice because it blocks... Thanks, Chris. All the best. Yeah, I think Kitesail is probably the best draw we have here. I'm going to keep these for now. Always no and always no. Okay, well, there's Kitesail. It's number one. I think I'm pretty happy to go champion first. Attack with Thalia with Exalted. I don't want to lose the Jailer because we do have Charming Prince in the deck, which can actually do some shenanigans. So I think end of draw step will put in the Kitesail. Noble Hierarch, okay. Upkeep. Draw step. Freebooter. Trigger the champion first. The big question as well is, if we want to block with the Kitesail, it's going to die and they're going to get the card back. So it's a case of, is having the Monarch for them and drawing a random card better than them getting back the card that we take? We take the Animate Dead for sure. Because that can get down World Gorger, or even Grizzlebrand. No attacks, interesting. So they don't even try to get the Monarch. Thalia's Lieutenant. It's just a case of like, is it just game? So if they block the two biggest creatures, being probably Palace, Jailer, and Champion, we then deal 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that just lethal? I think it is. So let's go for Noble Hierarch. Trigger. Attack with everything. They probably block Champion and Jailer. And we know the hand as well, so they're kind of stumped. Hopefully. Xaxes? Oof. Ooh, very nice. Sideboard. Prelate seems great. Palace Jailer seems great. I don't mind the Surgicals. I think because I'm pretty scared of their graveyard. Actually, Containment Priest seems great. Let's put a maybe pile in. Deputy seems fine, especially against all the tokens if we can. Meddling Mage seems great. I think we can take out the 4 champion. A little bit too fair. The Pontiff is okay. It kills Snapcasters and Baleful Strixes, so in case we just want to get them out of the way. I don't mind taking out the 2 Tomiks either. They're just a little bit too fair against this deck. Charming Prince seems great as a one-of. Prelate seems great, of course. Deputy and Orzhov Pontiff seem great. Can probably take out something like... maybe like 1 or 2 Lieutenants. However, Lieutenant's a great way to actually beat an Oko. So maybe it's a case of not bringing in so much removal for the graveyard. Maybe the second Jailer isn't warranted. However, I kind of want to see it naturally, so... I also like the Thalia's Lieutenant because if my opponent's bringing in something like Plague Engineer, which is great on human, Thalia's Lieutenant is a great sort of antioxidant for that. I'm going to say antioxidant, that's not the right word. Hey, Anglocken, thank you very much for the follow. Let me know where you're from, if you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Manic Vandal's interesting, I don't think it's worth it. Kambal's interesting, I don't think it's worth it, but Kambal's pretty cool. Maybe Kambal's better than like the other Thalia. Or maybe we just go with this 60, because now this is 60. We have a great graveyard strategy. Although Faerie Macabre is just so good, let's be honest. I'm going to drop 1 Jailer and go back down to 1 Jailer. Because of the Strixes and Snapcaster Mages, they can actually steal the Monarch from us a little bit too well. And I might take out just 1 Hierarch on the draw. See how this goes. Sadly, it's no lander, so we're going to muddling in this, but some pretty nice choices if we did have 1 land. It sounds rough, but I'm not too... We get to cast a turn 2 Kitesail, no matter what, or a Revoker. We're going to put back... probably the Prince. Especially because the only thing here that's worth bouncing is the Lieutenant. Unless we name wrong with the Meddling Mage. But I think if we can go Freebooter into Meddling Mage, we should be fine. So I'm going to bottom the Prince. And keep it as kind of a Imperial Recruiter target. Our opponent's on 5 as well, so... we might just get there. If our opponent goes for a non-basic, they don't. So the Wasteland turn 1 is off limits. Astrolabe, interesting. Thalia. Let's lead with Ancient and pass. So I can hit their mana here with Revoker. It's actually going to be an interesting turn of events of how I go with these 2 drops. I think Kitesail is probably the best to lead on. Kitesail and then Meddling Mage and then Thalia. But Thoughtseize is going to change that. I think the card that I hope they take is Thalia because we have multiples in the deck, and once we land 1, the others are kind of irrelevant. Freeboot is probably our best card because it gives us full information of their hand. So taking Freebooter, okay. Noble Hierarch, doesn't really change anything. I'm just going to go Thalia here. I don't know anything in their hand yet. I could definitely see going Phyrexian Revoker and naming Astrolabe, but I definitely like the disruption that Thalia adds to the board straight away. So I think the card that I don't want to see is Plague Engineer, which we do have a pretty good hand against, but it could be pretty rough. Leovold, okay, that's fine. Aether Vial. I think Aether Vial is actually quite nice here. Because if we don't start drawing lands, the Vial starts allowing us to actually cast things. So I'm pretty happy to go Vial here. Oh, I can't because the Ancient Ziggurat. So maybe I want to go Lieutenant because it makes this Thalia bigger than an X2. And it also blocks the Leovold really well. I could even get, I could even just play Noble here. And get aggressive with this Thalia. Especially seeing they're on 16. I'm just going to do that. I think now we've got a great next turn as well with Thalia's Lieutenant. Trophy. That's going to be fine. Unfortunately, we don't have a land to get. This does mean we can cast Meddling Mage naming Oko. And then even cast Lieutenant as well. Because I think Oko is the way they stay in this game. So let's cast Mage. Name Oko. And then get our creatures out of neg1 hate. Meddling Mage with the Exalted is now a pretty great clock as well. There is merit to not naming Oko because we have the Revoker in hand, but I think it's going to name Astrolabe, especially seeing they now have this second Astrolabe in play. I want to keep them off having double mana for any colors. This looks like a Strix. Okay. A little bit annoying, but not too bad. If they attacked, I would definitely think about the block there because we do have the Revoker to name Oko. Karakas. Karakas is kind of nice because it gets rid of the Leovold, but it does allow them to draw a card. So I'm just going to go land for turn. Cast Revoker. Naming Astrolabe. And then play Vial. I could then get aggressive by Karakasing the Leovold and attacking with Thalia's Lieutenant, but I don't think it's worth it right now. See what they do with this Ponder. Because hopefully it's a shuffle. If it's not a shuffle, I'm less inclined to use this. They chose not to shuffle. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to return the Leovold. They're going to draw a card. And then I'm going to Wasteland them. But I'll probably Wasteland them in my turn, just in case we draw into something that I really want to be able to use the mana for. Decay on Lieutenant is fine. Alright, we'll take this up. Kitesail. I guess we care about it first. Just to see what they have. To see if we actually want a Wasteland or not. I guess we take the Brainstorm. The Oko is named with Meddling Mage, so it doesn't really matter. And then I'm pretty happy to attack here with the Phyrexian Revoker. I could also attack with the Noble Hierarch, which is interesting. I actually don't mind that. Just to get in some damage, and if they want to trade with the Strix, that's more than fine. They're gonna trade, okay. That's fine. It does mean we can't attack in with like Meddling Mage the following turn because we don't have Exalted, but I'm still pretty happy with that. Surely they cast the Leovold. Interesting. What does no cast mean? Maybe something like Snapcaster Mage into Abrupt Decay? I guess because the Snapcaster Mage can't block Meddling Mage fine, we can just attack here. And then if they have Snap Decay, that's fine. Alright. I'm now pretty happy just to keep this Unclaimed Territory in hand. Oof. We're definitely not blocking. I'll keep this at 2 for now. We do have a few 3s in the deck. Ah, haha, classic. This one might just be getting away from us because of this Oko. Leovold's gonna come down. I guess I could have played the Wasteland to Wasteland the Pluto Delta, so it stops some sort of shuffle effect off a Brainstorm, which is actually pretty relevant. Alright, we'll concede here. I actually like bringing in Manic Vandal here. I think Manic Vandal could be pretty good. And the second Jailer. Kambal's interesting, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. It also looks like they're kind of off their full Reanimator kind of deck, so maybe it's worth taking out the Surgicals and the Faerie Macabres, and going back on a beatdown plan. I might just keep in one champion. Noble's probably better than champion on the play. I want my fast mana. Reflector Mage isn't great because a lot of their creatures have enter the battlefield triggers. So I'm just going to go ahead with this. I don't mind this because, you know, turn 2 Thalia into turn 3 Manic Vandal or Thalia's Lieutenant isn't bad, and we have the Cavern of Souls, which is nice. We'll keep this. I'm gonna lead on Ancient. It's the land I care least about. No, it's the least about. It's the land I care least about. Jeez. All right. Island is better than Swamp because we do have Thalia. We want to kind of play around Thoughtseize for as long as possible. Vandal also deals with Baleful Strix, which is kind of nice. Mother. Alright, we're definitely naming human. Jailer. I'm going to cast Mum first and then Lieutenant. I kind of want Mum to stick around through some sort of neg1 hate first. Nothing from our opponent is really nice. Unless they're like entombing here, that would be pretty brutal. Okay, just a fetch. So now that they have access to Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy, I wonder if Mum's actually the best hit here. Yeah. It's kind of great for us, I guess. Prelate. Oof. I think we prelate for 1? One stops Ponder, Brainstorm, a whole lot of stuff. It doesn't stop Oko though. But I don't think that's something to worry about right now. I think I really want to slow them down in their ability to cantrip into threats rather than think that they have them. They're also at 9, which is pretty brutal. Prelate also turns off Snapcaster Mage into Ponder, which is pretty nice. But that's always interesting. There's an argument for pretty much every, 1, 2, or 3 there. Tight. Just a pass. Okay. Land's actually brutal. Let's go for just an attack with Thalia. Petty theft. That's fine. Do we just slam the Thalia again? Or use the Palace Jailer? I don't mind Jailer. Because it allows us to use the majority of our mana, and it means that next turn we can even go a 2-drop in Thalia and then also a 3-drop, so... Mum's a pretty nice draw as well. I like that if they make Thalia's Lieutenant an Elk, it becomes a 3/3 Elk with 2 counters on it. Interesting, okay. So now I think we just go Deputy. Oh, we didn't name the Vendelkin or Wizard with Cavern of Souls. So what we should do is Thalia first, so that it resolves uncounterable, and then they can't actually force of will or counter the Deputy because they're tapped out. They can't pay for Thalia. Oh, okay, I gotta do this right. So this taps for 1, this taps for white, and this taps for blue. Attack with everything. Put him down to 5, which is great for us. Draw a card. Nice. Strix here would be nice, but I don't think it's going to be. I just really like this deck because it just applies so much pressure. Even though, you know, Deputy of Detention on Snapcaster Mage might not be the best because they could set it up in a way where they kill Deputy, get back Snap, and then flash something back. But, you know, it's just that increment of putting in a little bit of threat and a little bit of disruption at the same time. And we get this match, which is really nice. So we're going to be 2-0. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and then I will be back in action for Game 3. Alright, we're back for match number 3, which should be pretty fun. Really nice to get that win. Whew. If anyone in chat plays humans in Legacy, definitely let me know. How good is water sometimes? How good is water sometimes? Really nice. So we've played against World Gorger Dragon combo and Turbo Depths. Two pretty fast combo decks. Interesting to see if my opponent did slide out the full combo in the second and third game, because we didn't really see any of it. Not even Entomb. I do like the fact that Entomb works really well with Snapcaster Mage, because you can Entomb a spell and then Snapcaster it back. That's pretty cool. London always on top. 11 trophies. Styfro, JPA, nice. Berlin Siabonboga. I can't say his name. I really tried there, but a well-known Maverick player, which is good. Lewis CBR. Aurum 67, nice. Arkan. A lot of really good consistent players on MTGO. Shake Lion will play first. And this hand's very fair, but not too bad. Is this too fair? This is one for Twitter. Let's quickly tweet it. It's a nice hand. I mean, this champion's going to get out of hand pretty fast. We don't have any disruption other than Imperial Recruiter if we draw a land and play it turn 3. I think because of the Vial starts are just so good that I'm willing to mulligan this and actually keep this. It's a 1-lander, but the Vial's going to be so good. So we're going to keep this. And I'm going to bottom the Deputy, because at least we can find it with Imperial Recruiter. Oof. Force pitching Spell Pierce, okay. So now we're in a pretty bad position because we need to draw a land off the top just to make this hand okay. But if we were up against Miracles, I don't think that first hand would have been too great. Cavern's a great draw. And we're just going to go ahead here and name Swords to Plowshares with this Meddling Mage. Tropical Island. Okay, well that's definitely a wrong name, but at least we have this Charming Prince to try to get around it. So maybe that first hand wasn't that bad. Wasteland's actually pretty nice, so let's go for Charming Prince first. Play Wasteland. I'm going to take them off green Because I'm going to name Lightning Bolt with this Meddling Mage. But this looks like Rug Delver, which can be pretty rough. Ren's fine. Definitely no attacks here for the Goyf. Pontiff. If this is his true name, that's pretty brutal. I don't think we can come back from a true... Oh, we have the Orzhov Pontiff, so true name isn't the be-all end-all. Hooting Mangels, okay. Okay. That's fine, because if we draw a land here, we can Pontiff -1. Yeah. What is it? Ah. Haha. Rough. I guess we try and play it out. We didn't use Cavern there, which is pretty rough, but they didn't pick up on it, thankfully. Sadly, I don't think that there's a great attack either. We're just losing one creature, and they're not even losing the Ren. No flip is nice for us. We have one more turn, I guess. Unless they draw Wasteland. Oko, rough. Don't see us beating this. I mean, they can just attack now and they don't really care about losing anything. No attacks is interesting. I don't think they really care. Like, they can definitely attack there. That's luckily not good enough. Unfortunately not good enough. Alright, what do we like? I think Prelate's really nice. I don't mind the Reflector Mage. I don't mind the Deputy. I think we can take out the Champions. Or a Champion's good enough. Palace Jail is probably good enough, especially if we bring in the second Orzhov Pontiff. I think we can just take out the Thalias. And maybe take down 1 or 2 Champions. I would like to hit the graveyard somewhat, but I'm not sure how what the best way to do it is. Maybe a Revoker's worth it as well. Tomik's great. Maybe it's just 1 champion. And just try to beat them on like a fair basis. So this hand isn't even that great, but I think it's okay. Gonna lead on the Unclaimed Territory. Oh. This is where I wouldn't mind dismembers in the deck. I think dismembers are okay. Ponder's fine. Now we can Kitesail and then follow that up with Tomik with Karakas up. They kept in dazes, interesting. Definitely take a ponder. Kitesail. Pretty happy just to pass here. I could try to get a daze out by kite sailing, but I'm pretty happy just to pass and see what happens. Most likely see Goif here. I mean, they could double daze this if they want, but I'm not sure if that's like a winning strategy. I'll definitely play for it once. So we know about Ponder in their hand. That's the last card we know about. Hierarch. I guess first we can Kitesail. Take the Brainstorm. Play Hierarch. Attack. And I guess because we're kind of... Ren's pretty annoying. So I'm pretty happy to just Wasteland here, even though they have a handful of lands. I just want to keep them off that one extra land. Like Hooting Mandrills would be pretty good here. I think it is going to be Hooting Mandrills. I guess we can draw a card first. Prelate on 1 isn't too bad. Pretty happy to block here with the Kitesail. They get back to Brainstorm, but the Prelate turns it off anyway. Rough. Like, Reflector Mage might be okay. Is Lieutenant good enough? Do we need to gain the life? I think I'm happy here to trade the Charming Prince and the Thalia's Lieutenant for the Hooting Mandrills. Oh, we can't even cast the Vial. Interesting. We'll definitely attack for 3. I think we just take this. Jailer, oof. Does that do anything? Wow. Wow. Alright, we get a game 3. Ha! Did not expect that. So this is interesting. Maybe champions aren't that bad because they can get big quite easily. I don't mind. Meddling Mages are okay. I might just keep the 1 in because Prelate kind of turns off a lot of their stuff anyway. Might go down on 1 Hierarch. Maybe just 2 Hierarchs. Not the worst, especially with the Tomik. I mean, I'd love to keep this this Cavern in hand for as long as possible, but I think I need it for this champion. Unless our opponent wants to daze it. Force is fine, especially with this Cavern around. Another Delve is pretty brutal. Oof. Yuck. Oh, no second land from my opponent. Interesting. Let's go for human. And then put down a Tomik. We might as well attack here because we can't block. They need to find land bolt, I guess, to deal with the Tomik. Which they might not have found if they haven't done it yet. Definitely block. Noble. So Noble this turn kind of acts like the Lieutenant, where we get to get the champion attacking for 4, but it means that we can Recruiter next turn for like a flyer. The double Delver starts are really tough to beat. I mean, it's a race. The Lieutenant's interesting. We know they have the Force of Will, though. Kitesail. I think we go for Lieutenant to try to get the Force out, and then next turn we can cast the Kitesail if we get another turn. Wow, it's going to resolve. Interesting. I guess I can attack Ren here, but I think if I'm winning the game, I'm going for their face. If they have a second Ren, they can win. If they have a Bolt, they can win. So I think we just attack face here. No guts, no glory. We can't beat this. Rough. So we are 2-1 going down to Rug Delver there. The fast start from Delver just so good against us, especially without the Aether Vials. We really rely on those Cavern of Souls to get through threats. And the Aether Vials, of course. It's always really nice to have, but you know, you can't win them all. So on the play again, which is nice. And this hand's rough because the Ancient Ziggurat can't cast Aether Vial, so I'm going to keep this. This is actually a great hand. We will bottom... What do we want to bottom? Maybe the Ziggurat? And then just pass. Once upon a time. Okay. This could be some sort of depths deck, so having the Karakas is really important. Speaking of which, I actually just wrote a primer of about Green White Depths on the greensunsint.com, so definitely check it out if that's something that is up your alley. Okay, I'm just going to cast the Thalia. It makes the champion bigger, which is nice, and also means the Reclaimer can't really block for the next few turns. That's fine. Oh, Cradle as well? Ah, this looks like elves. Okay. Rough. I didn't think about elves when I first saw this. I guess Mage for natural order is pretty good. It's actually fine. I don't think I'm too unhappy about them spending 3 mana on a Once Upon a Time. Wirewood is pretty good, of course, with Elvish Visionary, but... I definitely feel like we're the slower deck, which is definitely pretty rough. Wasteland wouldn't be too bad of a draw as well. Another Thalia is pretty rough. I think we Kitesail here. Take the Glimpse. And then because everything's tapped, I'm pretty happy just attacking with everything. They can block the champion and bounce, but we can still get through 4 damage, which is nice. Might just be getting like the Dark Depths combo here, or maybe going for like Elvish Dried Arbor. Horizon Canopy, okay, so just wanted to draw extra lands. So I believe we know about Dried Arbor and Elvish. The draw a card when enters play, 1/1. The Reclaim is now being bigger, it's pretty rough as well. Because it means we can't really attack with just one creature being this, because they can just block and bounce. So if we do get to it, then the best draw is going to be Orzhov Pontiff, but you know that's very late. We need to draw a land and Pontiff, or even like Recruiter and then Pontiff. Guess we might as well 6, because we can just get priority back when we have to go to blocks, if we have to go to blocks. So if they have like a main deck, or sorry, in hand Craterhoof, or like a Green Suns for Craterhoof. Which is going to be game anyway, because they have enough creatures to give each creature +X, being X is too much. Green Suns for 8 is fine. Can they untap something else? Oh, I just passed. I thought it meant to go to priority. That's fine. We were definitely very dead anyway. So I like bringing in Sanctum Prelate, Containment Priest, Deputy of Detention, Orzhov Pontiff, Phyrexian Revoker. Meddling Mage isn't too bad. Reflector Mage is okay. Palace Jailer. I don't think Thalia's do enough. I don't think Tomik's do enough. Kitesails are nice. Can probably take out... It's always tough. Maybe some number of mums. Maybe 2 Palace Jailers. No, Palace Jailer's nice. How many cards is this? 61. Okay. Tomik does stop the Thespian stage combo if they're playing it, but I don't think they would be. I have seen Julian do a 5-0 league with it, but I think I'm more likely just to drop maybe a land on the play. Maybe a Ziggurat. Go ahead with this and see how it goes. I would love to play first. And this hand isn't too bad. I'm gonna keep. Gonna lead on the Unclaimed Territory. Human. Champion. Dried up is fine. Vial's actually a fantastic draw, because now we get to go Noble Hierarch first. Still use the other mana for Vial. And now attack. And the next turn we even have Orzhov Pontiff open. Which I would definitely love. Claimers are rough because the Pontiffs don't do a whole lot. But I still think it's worth just firing off this Pontiff here to deal with these two creatures. Still a 2-for-1. It's not the greatest, but I don't mind it. It slows him down on mana, which is really nice. Passing from my opponent, interesting. Definitely tick this up. Vial. Let's look at their hand first. Two natural orders. We'll definitely take one. Do I want to attack with both? I think I just want to attack with the champion. They could actually double block here, which is maybe an oversight by me, but it doesn't mean I get to bounce the other one, which isn't too bad. I think you definitely double block here and then double activate. Yeah. I could draw into Containment Priest off the Horizon Canopy, though I'm pretty happy just to trade with one. And then bounce the other. And then I might as well play this out. And then pass. Ugh. So pretty happy to keep one at 2 and one at 1. So this one, no. And this one, yes. Let's draw a card first. Meddling Mage, okay. So we can name Natural Order. We know there's one left in hand, which can come off there. So we might as well play this. Draw another card. Ziggurat. Alright, let's attack with all. I guess if they bounce, we can also name it with Meddling Mage, which actually might be the play here. So they get a draw, but they can't actually bounce and then replay it, which is kind of nice. Alright, now both of these can go up to 3 and 2. Canopy. Wasteland's not the worst because we can do nothing with it. We'll attack in the air for 2. We know they have Natural Order in hand, so maybe even just an order here into Cradle Hoof is enough. Each creature gets +4/+4, which is pretty brutal. And haste, so if they're getting Dried Arbor here, it makes sense. They're not. Archon. Okay. No to both of these. I think like Palace Jail is our best draw here. Champion's a little bit slow. No great attacks either, so we're just going to pass back. A little bit unfortunate. That's fine. do we draw? Wasteland. Really want to be drawing more than just land here. Like an Imperial Recruiter would be great. We can Imperial for something like Orzhov Pontiff, or of course Palace Jailer, which would be fantastic. My opponent most likely thinking, do they want to draw a card here or use Reclaimer to go and find a Cradle? I think Natural Order's just game here, sadly. We'll concede. So we are 2-2. Going into this last one, hopefully getting up. I'd love to finish 3-2 with humans. It's definitely not a deck that I have 100% confidence with, but it definitely is a deck that has the same playstyle that I very much enjoy. So let's see how we go on this last one. Hopefully we get it straight away. Come on, opponent. Come on. Rough. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Ziggs on Twitch. I stream on Wednesday nights in Australian Eastern Standard Time at 7:30, and usually Saturday or Sunday mornings around 10 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Usually stream Legacy, usually fair decks, so Maverick's my jam. I have a site called the Green Sun Zenith, which is pretty much everything to do with Legacy Maverick. Also stream Humans sometimes, Death and Taxes, and then also some different takes on like Rug Delver, Blue Red Delver. On the draw, which is on the play, which is nice. And this hand's not the worst. It's definitely very fair and very slow. I think there are better hands because of Vial. Sadly, it's a no-lander, so we can't keep this. This isn't too bad. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to drop the Deputy. Maybe I'll drop the Thalia's Lieutenant. Lieutenant Wasteland. I'd probably rather have Karakas over Wasteland. Alright. Cloudpost should have kept the Wasteland. Classic. Okay, let's go for Freebooter. Okay. Definitely take the... I don't think we care about Transfer. I think we care about All Is Dust here because we already have the mana out. So let's take the All Is Dust. I hate how they double up. So we know about Trinisphere, we know about All Is Dust, Glimmer Post, Thespian Stage, Ancient Tomb, Thought Knot. So that's what we know about. Now we can attack for 1. Glimmer Post is fine. And there's Trinisphere. Alright. Now a Wasteland off the top would be huge. We're not going to see it. Does seem like a rough matchup. We do have Wasteland, which is nice. I wonder if I want a Deputy here to take out the Trinisphere, just so that we can start drawing into multiple spells and cast multiple spells a turn. Because they're definitely thought not seeing next turn, so I don't mind Deputy take Trinisphere. And then attack. Another Glimmer Post, okay. That's fine. Interesting to see what they take. I guess Pontiff can make combat math a little bit difficult for post-combat, but the champion can get out of hand pretty fast. Hey, SLD Tech. Hope you're well. Thalia is interesting. Thalia means we can... I think Thalia is fine, so I think we'll just attack first. 2 in the air. Unfortunately, our opponent's now going to be at 20 life like the beginning because of these. I always forget Void. And now we get this Thalia, which is kind of nice. So it might slow down our opponent a little bit. We also have the option of blocking Thought Knot and bouncing if we want to save life down the road. Orzhov Pontiff, probably a card that can come out pretty quickly from this deck. So Death Fiend Stage, Copping Cloud Post is very nice. So we know about Stage. Another Trinisphere, okay. I think we just take this hit. They're not even going to let us. Okay. Meddling Mage. What do I want to name with Meddling Mage? Probably Endbringer. I think Endbringer is probably the 4 of that I care about the most. There are cards like Ugin or All's Dust that they might have another 1 or 2 in the deck, but I think we attack first and see where we go. I don't know if we care about Khan the Crate Creator, because we don't care about Mycosynth's Lattice. Endbringer definitely punishes us. They do have bridges, but we do have some other outs to bridges, which is nice. Like... cost 1 more, of course. I mean, Endbringer we just can't beat. So I'm happy to name Endbringer here, because the other ones we can actually beat with Charming Prince, getting the Deputy back, or something like Sanctum Prelate. This looks like a big walking blister. That's definitely another name that I could have gone with. Okay. I think we just concede there. So this is an interesting matchup, because I'm not too sure what we bring in from the sideboard. I definitely like Phyrexian Revoker. I definitely like Manic Vandal. I definitely like Meddling Mage, Prelate, Powerless Jailer, Deputy. I don't know about Reflector Mage. Mage is interesting. I might as well put it in a maybe board. Thalia's are okay. I think we can definitely take out Mums. They're no givers. I don't mind the champions because they can get pretty big. The Hierarchs are fine because it allows us to get out turn 3s earlier, and also works really well with Trinisphere if they kept those in. I think I can drop Thalia's down to just a 1 of, in case I really want it, and the Pontiff can definitely come out. So that actually seems like a pretty good switch there. I don't mind this. Sort by converted mana cost. See, I don't mind the Recruiters because we have so many good 1-offs that I really want. I mean, having 3 Manic Vandals in the deck is a lot better than just having the 1 Manic Vandal. Especially with Charming Prince in the deck. I'm going to see how this goes. It's definitely relying on the 3-drops, but if we get a nice opening with either Vial or Noble Hierarch, then I'm pretty happy with it. Not this. I don't mind this. And I'm gonna drop... Do we care about them countering things? Only for Chalice, but I think they would have taken out Chalices, so I'm gonna drop the Cavern. I guess Cavern... Yeah, because Ancient Ziggurat allows us to cast cards like Deputy of Detention, which isn't a human. So I'm just going to lead on Ancient Ziggurat and pass. Candelabra, okay. Pretty happy, oof. Pretty happy just to Wasteland here. Just to try to keep our opponent off soul lands at the start of the game. I mean, if they drop like a Glimmer Post now, I'd be pretty happy. Okay, so now I'm really happy. Ooh. So I also have the option here of just... I think the Wasteland has a better target, so I'm going to go Horizon Canopy into Freebooter. Yeah, luckily they have the Glimmer Post there, so we definitely take a thought the Trinisphere, but we know they have Thought-Knot Seer and Endbringer. Okay. Trinisphere, Thought-Knot, Endbringer, Vesuva, Glimmer Post, Vesuva, 245, 245, okay. Temple, okay. Temple's pretty nice because they can actually untap it and Thought-Knot this turn, which is pretty brutal. It's a pretty nice draw. So there goes Thought-Knot Seer. Which I assume they go with Manic Vandal this turn, just because the Candelabra is so good. And that allows us next turn to play Champion and Thalia. They take Thalia's Lieutenant, okay. Champion. So I have the option of Champion, and then Wasteland, or Manic Vandal this turn. And I think I like just Champion, because if we Wasteland this turn on the Temple, they don't have great cards to Candelabra anyway, and great lands to Candelabra anyway, so I'm gonna do that. So we'll go Champion. Champion number 2. And then take out the Eldrazi Temple. And then attack in the air. Yeah, currently they can... Okay, there's a Cloud Post. Interesting. No attacks. Okay. There's definitely a patience aspect as well, because I might have wanted to wait to know I had the 3rd mana for my Manic Vandal before I did anything else. But here, I believe they can nearly just cast Endbringer here. They can, okay. So that's pretty good. So we know about Vesuva, number 1, and Endbringer. So luckily we have the Detention of Deputy of Detention, but we need to draw into a 3rd land to cast it. No blocks here. Ouch. That's pretty rough. I think just to save face here, I kind of want to block with the Champion that's on 1, because they're most likely going to ping it anyway in our next turn. Classic. Yeah, we're not getting back in this game, unfortunately. So that will be a 2-3 finish, which is pretty rough. But the deck felt really nice. I really enjoyed playing it. I think the deck's got a lot of game, and I'm sure there's games where you can just beat Eldrazi Post, but yeah, this wasn't meant to be. I'll definitely play it again. This was a really, really enjoyable deck. It's got a lot of nice games. So the Thalias and Kitesails and Meddling Mages and Prelates are great against the combo matchups. The creature matchups are a little bit rough. Like losing there to Eldrazi and Elves, we didn't have too many ways to get out of it. Even with Elvish Reclaimer and now seeing playing Elves, the Pontiff wasn't that great. But yeah, like maybe being a little bit too greedy there with the Wasteland and not waiting until we had an extra mana to make sure we could cast the Manic Vandal or any other 3-drops was correct. But that is it. A huge thank you to you guys for streaming and coming into the stream. You can catch me on Twitter at Dukes on Twitch. You can catch me on stream, of course, at twitch.tv/Dukes on Twitch. I will be back on Wednesday night. Not sure what we're playing yet, but it should be pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoy your long weekends. I'll see if there's anyone else on. Sadly, isn't. Yeah, enjoy Eternal Weekend, which will be on all today, of course, with the stream from yesterday and tonight with, I believe, the Vintage Top 8 and then the last bit of Legacy. So, thank you guys again. We'll see you next time. Cheers.